Hey there guys, Matt Spiner here, and today this is part 2 of my 5 important facts, system, and stats about COVID-19 by Top5s video. Basically what I'm trying, oh god, repeat. Alright, I was recording the last one and it only had like 15 minutes and like 48 seconds left, which isn't bad, but the video goes on for like 16 minutes and 11 seconds. So, basically, I had to end that video there abruptly, but I had to it just because I had no file space, so I had to delete 5 files. But it's okay now because I have plenty of time. I have like 22 minutes and 21 seconds right there, and the video is even just shorter than that, so we have plenty of time. So without further ado, let's continue right where we left off.
Top 10 for the worst, and in some of the most severe COVID-19 cases, the cytokine storm, combined with a reduced capacity to pump oxygen to the rest of the body, can result in multiple organ failure. Even if a patient survives a cytokine storm, they are often left with permanent lung damage. So what is being discovered is not that COVID-19 is killing people, but rather their immune system's response to it. And this is evidenced by the high proportion of deaths in the elderly and people with underlying health problems, as in both cases, their immune systems would not be working as well as a healthy individual. This would also explain why so far there are no serious cases of COVID-19 in children under 9 years old.
Okay.
Children are known to have a straightforward immune response to infections, so scientists aren't sure whether young children just aren't getting infected or their symptoms are so mild that no one notices it.
Sorry I had to pause the video there again, but it's just that there was an ad and
initial reports from doctors at a hospital in Wuhan reported that 2 infants tested positive for the novel coronavirus, one just 30 hours after birth. Naturally, this troubling headline spread across news organizations, given it raised questions of whether pregnant women can infect their unborn children in the womb, or whether the disease can be transmitted during birth or through breast milk. However, mother-to-infant transmission...
Hey guys, I'm back. So, sorry about all the interruptions. It's just that someone left that hallway door open, causing the bloody battering over there to just get really loud. So that's why I had to pause it initially, and then there was a spider on that door over there. It'd come out of that bag before. It was like a little huntsman spider, and then then me and my brother, we had to get it out and just flick it out over there, and then it caused even more interruptions, but it's okay, I'm back now, and we were just, left off with the horrifying news that a baby got the coronavirus.
Or through born children in the...
Let's go back to the...
Initial reports from doctors at a hospital in Wuhan reported that 2 infants tested positive for the novel coronavirus, one just 30 hours after birth.
Yeah.
Naturally, this troubling headline spread across news organizations.
I hope it's okay.
Questions of
I hope the 2 infants are okay.
Can infect their unborn children in the womb, or whether the disease can be transmitted during birth or through breast milk.
I hope not, because my I hope not, because my own sister, this is not Matt Spiner's sister, my actual sister is pregnant with a second child, and now I'm scared that my little nephew is gonna get this virus. I hope not. I really hope not. Anyway, back into my character mode. Woo!
However, mother-to-infant transmission wasn't observed with SARS or MERS, despite numerous cases involving pregnant women. Plus, it's now emerged that it's highly likely that these babies born into a hospital overrun with infected patients were bound to be at risk of also catching the virus. A new study published in The Lancet suggests there is no preliminary evidence that the coronavirus can be passed from mother to child.
Oh, okay.
While this study doesn't
have nothing to be scared about.
Rule out the possibility of transmission during pregnancy. While this study doesn't completely rule out the possibility of transmission during pregnancy, it highlights the need to be cautious in speculating about this disease. However, pregnant women have recently been added to the list of people who are considered as high risk of complications if they catch coronavirus.
Shoot. We're on number 1 now.
We looked at what can happen to the body if the virus takes over, so let's look at some of the reasons why the virus may get out of control in certain people. Early indications are that those with pre-existing illnesses and the elderly are more likely to suffer serious complications from COVID-19, and this has been confirmed by the first deaths. The first 2 patients to die in Wuhan were seemingly healthy, although they were long-term smokers, and that would have weakened their lungs. The first was a 61-year-old man who had severe pneumonia when he arrived at the hospital. He was in acute respiratory distress, meaning his lungs were unable to provide enough oxygen to his organs to keep his body alive. Despite being put on a ventilator, his lungs failed and his heart stopped beating. He died 11 days after he was admitted. The second patient, a 69-year-old man, also had acute respiratory distress syndrome.
Both in the
He was
60s.
attached to an artificial lung, or ECMO, machine, but this wasn't enough. He died of severe pneumonia and septic shock when his blood pressure collapsed. It's worth remembering that these 2 patients were already extremely ill before they arrived at hospital, and the hospital staff would have had no idea at the time what they were dealing with. However, as knowledge about the disease has increased, there is a definite age demographic that are at risk. These are the latest figures that indicate their chances of death after contracting the disease. Of course, these are not the true death rates, as some patients still being treated may yet die, and many mild cases are going unnoticed. Another factor affecting the deadliness of the new virus is the quality of medical care. Already, there is evidence that the overwhelmed medical system in Wuhan, where the outbreak began, led to more deaths. So hopefully, as medics learn more about the disease and are more prepared to face the influx of coronavirus patients, the mortality rate will lower. The overall death rate for people with no other health problems is currently around 0.9%, but this is likely to lower when everything pans out. However, this rises significantly to those with underlying health conditions, such as diabetes, heart disease, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cancer, cystic fibrosis, primary immunodeficiency, smoking, and dangerously overweight individuals with a BMI of 40 or above. So people in that category have to be extra vigilant regardless of how old they are. Now, although the headlines are alarming and causing many people to panic, for the majority of people, as long as you practice the hygiene steps recommended and follow the guidelines if you do feel unwell,
as long as you do that, you'll be safe from this disease.
You should be fine, even if you contract the disease. It is, however, much more worrying for older people or people with underlying health conditions,
Just had an itchy nose.
as obviously they are more at risk than others of serious complications. And it can be misleading when we read the headlines that seem to indicate if you are not old or ill, you'll be okay. But what we have to remember is that won't stop you contracting the disease in the first place. We are all equally at risk of that, and if the younger healthy people then pass it on to someone's elderly mother, father, or dearly loved grandparents, we all suddenly become deeply affected. So, we all have a duty to contain this virus and self-isolate where advised, and take all the necessary precautions to avoid catching or spreading this disease. Being selfish is not an option. The key to getting COVID-19 under control is to be sensible and follow the advice given, and hope the respective governments step up and do the same. As a closing note, we want to give a quick medical alert. No one is to use anti-inflammatories, e.g. ibuprofen, Voltarol, naproxen, and many others for pain or high temperature. Use paracetamol instead. There seems to be a link between severe cases of COVID-19 affecting young people with no underlying illness and taking anti-inflammatories. Initial reports started coming from French doctors recently. This has now been confirmed by infectious diseases consultants.
Guys,
we hope you've learned just a few things about coronavirus by watching this video. We feel it's our duty to be doing videos like this, given the amount of followers we have. Stay safe, everyone, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.
You certainly did do that, Top5s. But anyway, guys, that right there was the end of the Top5s coronavirus based video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I certainly did. I'm sorry that I had to split into 2 parts. It's just the fact that my file space did not have enough space there were too many like files in my too many video files, so I had to get rid of 5 of them in order to finish off the reaction video. I'm sorry that had to happen, and I'm also really appalled and disgusted by the introvert oddball for making that I have the coronavirus video. That was just absolutely fucking disgusting of him. I'm sorry. God damn it. Damn it. I don't want to cuss. I really don't, but I thought it was really disgusting of him. Even if it was just dark humor based stuff, it's still not funny. I didn't find it funny. But yeah, he hasn't uploaded any videos in a while. So this is why I made these 2 videos, this reaction video, to sort of, give him something, some content for his channel that has been dead since like the 1st of April. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. I'm Matt Spiner. I hope all of you out there are staying safe. Just remember to wash your hands and just social distance from people. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.